Hi everyone, my name's Lou Sims and welcome to my channel. Now today these are the cards we're going to be making using the new Kaleidoscope stamp collection from JMC Designs. I wanted to take one layout and be able to show that you could use that whether it was a tall card, a square card, or if we wanted to do an A5 card even. So let's put them out the way and I'll explain what's going on. Julia McNeill from JMC Designs has got this wonderful collection of new stamps out called Kaleidoscope, and it is a real mix of different sort of stamped images that cross over to many different crafting styles. So we've got Wings of Change, Butterfly Style, Butterfly Tickles, and we've got Butterfly Kisses. And they are the stamp sets. They're A6 in size and they're photopolymer. Now, I'm part of a YouTube hop celebrating the launch of this wonderful new collection. And I've linked everybody who's going to be taking part in the description box below. And also what I've also linked to is the JMC Designs web shop, because Julia has a really cool offer on at the moment. And it's K Launch 10 and it gets you 10% off the Kaleidoscope collection. Also, if you spend £40 or more, she said, there'll be a free gift included. But don't worry, I'll either try and remember to put that on the video, can't guarantee it, but I will definitely have all the details in the description box below. So after watching my video, do pop over to watch everybody else's and see what sort of, things they have created with this wonderful new collection. Right, so let's tidy away and let's get started making. Right, I've got two pieces of card in front of me, which seems a bit weird. One's for a DL card and one's for a 5x5. No, it actually will end up being a 6x6 card. And I love taking a design that you would put maybe on a longer card and seeing then how it would work on, a different shape. So just shows that you can take one design and then morph it. So I'm fingers crossed going to try and do both. So I'm going to start with the longer one first, and I'm going to use distress ink. So I'm going to grab my sponges and my inks, and I'll be with you. Okay, now this is one of Julia's stencils, and it's called Going in Circles, and I just want to make a really quick background with it. Now, you get the stencil, but you also get the mask parts as well. So you can then, once you've stenciled, you can then put these over the top and carry on doing your, your different designs. But I just want to, as she says, line it up, and I'm just going for the center of the circle at the moment, and very lightly around the outside, but because I can build up my colors, and this in my head is my placement. I'm just going around the, so it just builds up a really subtle bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that mask now on top, because I want to take another one of the circles and I want to do exactly the same. Okay, so I'm just going to go lightly around the outside and a little bit more colour in the middle. So I'm using mustard seed, but I'm just doing it very, very lightly. And then I want to do one more. And again, I can put the mask on top. And I just want to do one that's going down here. And even though I probably wouldn't have got that circle, it's just having the masks there is just reassuring, isn't it? There we go. A little bit more in the middle. So we've got that background going like that, which looks a little bit weird. And as I said, I'm going to try and do two cards at the same time. So I'm going to do exactly the same with this one. Right, I'm going to, like I said, so we've got that there. And what I want to do is I want to bring in, this is another really cool stencil of Julia's called Floral Vines. No, sorry, Floral Vinyls. Don't know why I said vines. And I just want to add in a little bit of detail using it. And this is where the masks are brilliant. You can use temporary adhesive. Oh, let's get the correct one. You know, temporary tape on them to hold them in place if you want to. I'm not going to be overly precious because actually I'm not. They're going to be my background as such, and I'm going to add some detail to it. I just want to knock off so I've put a lot of colour on there. I just want to knock a bit of it off, and I can pick up from here. And I want to use this one going along. And I'm going for the floral images more than anything else. I'm just working out where I want to position it. Now, if it's easier, put this in your stamp platform and use the magnets. But I want this to be quite light and a subtle background. Because I can build up the colour. As I said, I can always go back over. One of the benefits of stencils, I can go back over. So I've got that there. And having these masks, it just makes life so much easier. And I want to do exactly the same up here. And I'm not, like I said, I'm trying to use a little bit of ink. I want it as a shading more than I want a hint there of the background. So I've got that one there. And let's just do a couple more down here. And I'm just going to put that mask back in place. Even saying that, you know, you don't have to, you know, be so precise. But if we've got the masks there, we might as well use them. So, like I said, I just want this to be a really nice and subtle in the background. Okay, so let's just move that, and I can move the masks. And as you can see, then I've got all the yellow areas still stand out, but I've got that subtle blending going on. And let's repeat the process on this one. And now this is where I faff a little bit and think where else I want things. Right, I'm going to leave that like that for the moment. I might come back and add a few more florals. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to leave that like that for the moment. So they're my two backgrounds. So I'm just going to tidy these away, and I'm going to get my stamps in. Okay, I'm going to start with the Wings of Change stamp set, and I'm using that beautiful light bulb image. And I'm just going to stamp some of them on to the background of my card. And sorry, I'm going to have to move my card to suit me. And I want to put one. I'm going for straightish in my head. That's what I'm going for anyhow. If you want to be a bit more precise, use your stamp platform, and a lot of them come with grids, so you can actually do, you know, add the grids on. We've got that there. I've got that image going there, and then just going to do, I'm not worried that I've overstamped there, because I've got a plan for there anyhow, which is a bit of luck. And this one is going to go here. Put that bit there. Let's just wipe that away. And I want to do the final one in that yellow. So what I did in using the original going in circles stencil and masks is it's just given me a landing point for all of these. Now I'm not worried about the line going through there, because I'm going to layer up some of these butterflies anyhow, which will cover these. Okay, so I've got that's going there. As I said, I'm not worried about this here, because I'm going to be layering up some of these. So I'm going to do the same on my square card. So I'm just moving my ink lid. So that's like the starting point of our card designs. Now I want to stamp up some other images that I'm going to use for matte and layering. So I'm going to grab some other card that I've got, because I want to use some of these butterflies from here. So I'm just going to, and as I'm making 2 cards up, I'm just going to stamp this design 3 or 4 times. I love doing this. To me, once you've worked out the design in your head, the faff process, as I call it, when you bring all the different layers in, this is the bit that I go, yeah. Right, so I've got that there. So I'm going to put them to one side, let them dry, and bring back in my backgrounds. Right, so I've got my background. What I want to do now is I just want to accentuate a bit of this colour. As I said, I'm not worried about overlapping onto the butterflies, because as you saw, I'm going to matte and layer and colour them up in, in different ways. So let's just grab the stencil. I don't really need the stencil, but just to make me happy, I suppose. So right, I started off with mustard seed, didn't I? So let's grab, I'm just grabbing some different colours I've got here in Distress Inks, and I'm going to go for a little bit of carved pumpkin, just a tiny bit, and then I'm going to go back over. I should have got my larger blocks out, stamps out, but right, there we go. So I just want to start in the middle and radiate out just a little bit. It would have been better if I'd have took both lids off, but never mind. And then I'm just going to go back over. Okay, got that there. And let's do the next one. So I'm just going to put these to one side and leave them be. But before I do that, what I just want to do on both of them, whilst I let them dry, is I just want to just put a little bit of water down. And I can let these now dry, put to one side and dry naturally. Right, so I just want to watercolour some of these images in, and I'm going to stick to distresses, and I'm going to go for a mixture of different colours. So I'm going to go, I want to go for some blues. I want to colour them all differently, so when I make the cards up, there are different colours going on there. Right, so I'm just going to colour all these images in, so I will probably fast forward. Okay, so you can see I've coloured them in, and my colouring isn't legendary, and I've done that deliberately. I wanted it to be quick and easy colouring, because what I want to do, I'm leaning across you all now because I want to grab some of the background stamps that Julia's got, and they were from a previous release, and this is Stardust, and I just want to start building up some other detail inside the butterflies. And because I'm cutting the butterflies out, it doesn't matter. I think that's a bit of a big stamping block though, Louise. So I'm going to start with the carved pumpkin. So it doesn't seem much, but for me, it's just something a little bit different. And then we've got a script one on the same stamp set. And because I'm just using it as a background, I don't need to worry about which direction it goes in or what it says or if it says anything. I'm being really good and putting back. So that was from the Stardust collection. And then I just want to grab, this is from the Angora. And I know it looks like a snowflake. And it is probably a snowflake. But when we're just doing it like this, it will be, and I'm not doing superb inking either. Finally, I just got to do those blue ones. Right, I'm going to put these to one side to dry, and then once they're dry, I'm going to cut them out and then get ready to use on the cards. Now, I want to keep some of these bits here. I'm not sure. We'll see. But I'm going to let these dry and cut these out, and I'll be back. So I'm going to then bring in the backgrounds. Okay, I've got my backgrounds in here, and what I want to do is, where's my stamp block? I'm going to extend some of these lines. So let's get a smaller fine liner to start. And I'm going to have to bring it towards me, sorry. I thought I could work away, but I can't. So where I've over stamped here, I'm just going to bring that line up. And that line there, you could do this freehand. I'm just using my stamp block because it's out. So those lines are going down there. So I've got that there. I'm going to repeat it on the smaller one. Right, so I've just added in, as you can see, if I keep that in, this would be good. So I've just added in those details. And what I'm just going to do now is I'm just going to, with the thicker micron pen, I'm just going to colour in different areas that I'd like to be black. So as you can see, I've just coloured in those bits, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly the same for this and for this, and what I'll hopefully have is all my other bits cut out ready to go. Okay, right, I've coloured in the black lines and I've cut out all the butterflies, and where I had parts that were over stamped, it doesn't show so much now that I've added that black detail to them. But what I want to do is, before I stick the butterflies down and then work out what other embellishments I want, is I just want to grab a little bit of sparkle pen. I've probably put a little bit too much out there, but that's fine. And I'm just going to grab my paintbrush. I'm going to water this down because I don't want it to be intense. I just want it to be very, very subtle. So I'm just going to grab my paintbrush. Like I said, I just want to water this down, and I just want to add a hint of sparkle inside each of the bulb areas. And I'll just do it, and then I'll lift it up and you can see what I mean. Okay, so now what I've done is, as I said, I've just added the tiniest little bit of sparkle. I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up, but it's just very, very faint, but it will be there. And I've done that on, you know, both of them. Right, so now in Ideal's world, you know, you would let that dry, but I'm already thinking about another idea I had, and that is bringing back in this stamp set here, but we'll see about that. Right, so I'm going to start sticking down some of the butterflies, and I'm just looking for different areas I want to stick them down. Okay, I've got them in place, and what I want to do is I'm thinking of stamping this small stamp here from the Stardust. So I've got some different places for my other butterflies to be on. But what I want to do before I do that and is work out what sentiment I'm going to use. So I'm going to move these out the way and let them dry, and I'm just going to grab in some of the sentiments that I want to use. And I want to use let me think, Change is Beautiful, and Like a Butterfly, Her Wings Unfolded, I think. That, or Butterfly Wishes, it'll be one of those two. Let's have a look. Right, I've stamped all of those up. I'm just going to let them dry a bit, because obviously it's a new ink pad, and I just want to bring this card in first. And I'm going to use, and it's hardly going to show at all, but I'm going to use that beautiful Starburst one that I used on the butterfly wings, just to add a little bit of detail in places. Now I might end up taking, I think I will take this off the block. It'll probably be easier. I'm just going to lift it up so you can see this tiny little bit of detail and bring it down there. So it just gives the illusion that the light is going further than it actually is. So I'm quite happy with that. So I'm just going to take these now, and I'm going to just chop them up into sentiment banners, and we'll be back. So now I'm just going to quickly do a black edging around these rather than put them on a matte layer. I know I'm conscious of that part there that I haven't got a butterfly on. But that is going to be definitely one of the areas I cover. So I've got a little bit. I'm going to start assembling, but I think what I'm going to do whilst I think of the ideas, I know it sounds like I'm faffing. Well, I am faffing. Like I said, it is one of my favourite parts of actually creating a project, is the faffing stage. All right, I'm just grabbing some 3D foam. So what I want to do is I'm just going to mount these onto the card blanks. Or am I? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Sorry, like I said, I faffing, I just go, So I'm just going to put these on. Right, I've got those mounted, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work out where I roughly want to put my actual sentiments and how I want them to actually look, and then I can see about these parts here, because obviously I've got certain areas that stand out. So let's have a think. I'm just having a look. So then the butterfly on here has got somewhere to stand on, and if I put one going there, and we could have a blue. Let's have a think. Do I want a blue? Or that one could be there. And I could have one here. So all I did with these is just some of these I might have to colour in, and some of them I might not. So I've got that one can go off the edge there a bit, and then I've got the last one. And I can have the butterfly going there, like that. So I've got one or two butterfly images that aren't quite coloured, and I'm not sure. I'm going to stick these down and then have a think in my head where if I'm going to colour them. Right, so that just leaves me one or two places where technically butterflies would go, and I've decided I don't want to actually colour them. I think I'm going to grab some sequins and just put a few sequins in place so they become the focal point, and not what I haven't coloured in. Right, so like I said, I'm happy. I love the way that we've used a similar sort of layout, and we've created two very similar cards, but they look slightly different because one is obviously longer and one is square. What I might do in between the video is I think I might stamp another butterfly and have another butterfly down the bottom, but I'm going to leave it as is. Now, I'm part of a wonderful YouTube hop celebrating the launch of the Kaleidoscope Collection by JMC Designs. So I've linked everybody else who is involved in the description box below. And don't forget that wonderful discount code to get 10% off. And again, I've linked to the JMC Designs shop also below. Thanks ever so much for your company. I hope my faffing didn't distract you too much and make you go, ah. But it's been wonderful. I've had a great time playing with the new collection. Hope to see you soon, and take care.